Since this is my first video of my channel, I figured the most appropriate thing to do would just be to introduce myself from the beginning. So my name is Cayla Harder, I'm 18 years old and I have alopecia. Alopecia is an autoimmune disease and a lot of people either have never heard of it at all or don't really understand it. So what alopecia is the disease where your white blood cells kind of see your hair follicle as foreign and as such kind of attack it, and that causes your hair to just fall out. Now, there's two different types of alopecia that you can get. You can either have one where you lose all of your hair, all of your eyebrows and eyelashes, everything, or what I have, alopecia areata, where hair only comes out in chunks. But I do have eyebrows and eyelashes and all of that. I was first diagnosed with alopecia when I was in 8th grade. And I remember it was a pretty big shock to me because I had never heard of a disease like this before, so I didn't think that this could even happen to someone. I first discovered it when I went to go get a haircut, and when they put my hair up, the lady looked at my mom and I kind of funny and was just staring for a little bit and looked at us and said, "Do you know that you have bald spots?" I looked at her with the craziest look, like, no, I did not know that. So I went to the doctor and that is when I got fully diagnosed. To first treat the small spots on my head, I was given a kind of foam, which is pretty much like a medical Rogaine, to use like twice a day. So I put that on there and it started working and helping, and eventually the spots went away. And then when I went to high school, they started coming back. I first noticed because when I was in the shower, I would, wash my hair and go through it, and a lot would start coming out. And I remember telling my mom that I think my hair is falling out, and she told me I was crazy because, that's a normal thing. Hair comes out in the shower. But I was like, no, I'm pretty sure something's going on here. And as always, I was right. No, I'm just kidding. As the spots came back, I went back to the dermatologist and they told me that the reoccurrence of the spots were probably due to an overwhelming amount of stress. It's actually pretty interesting. For some reason, a lot of scientists and stuff don't really understand why alopecia happens. A lot of people have inferences that they can make, but a lot of it leads to the idea of a buildup of stress causing the hair loss, or a lot of other things, but there's no definite thing that causes alopecia, so it's really hard to kind of tackle. So because it's such an ambiguous disease, it's really hard to kind of reverse the effects in a sense. So there's no real cure. You never know what's gonna work and what's not gonna work. When I was first diagnosed, they gave me that foam and it went away fine. But after that, they tried to give me the foam again once the spots reoccurred, and it didn't work at all. Like, nothing. The spots started getting bigger and I didn't really know what to do. So I went to the doctor to try to look for some new things that could help me, anything. So I went to a doctor and I ended up having to get steroid injections into my head. For those who have alopecia that don't like needles, I'm sorry, because there's a lot. What they do is they just fill a couple needles with this medicine, and wherever the affected area is don't look right now, but wherever the affected area is, say you have small spots, they'll just do multiple shots within that area. And then you'll keep going back then in 6 weeks and hopefully hair growth will start. So I went to the shots for a couple months and they did really help. I almost had all of my hair back. It was amazing. I didn't even think that that would be possible. I was doing pretty well, and then unfortunately I got into a car accident my sophomore year. it had just been 3 months after I'd gotten my license, and I got rear-ended pretty badly. I had my second concussion and constant migraines and body pain, and I ended up missing more than a month and a half of school, which was incredibly stressful and so overwhelming that I couldn't even handle it. And the stress from that all just took over my body. I was sick for a very long time. My hair started falling out so quickly and I couldn't keep up. It started going in the most important parts, chunking off. So all in the front here, kind of in the sides, on the back, just wherever it could. So for a while I tried to pin up my hair, keep half of it up to cover the top spots on the top, but eventually that stopped working because the spots just started getting too big and you couldn't cover them. After I could no longer cover up the spots, I started switching to different techniques to try to cover up the hair. So I would have extensions glued to my head, literally, which was an awful experience because every time you would try to take them out, more hair would fall out and they hurt and you could see them. But it was the only thing that really looked like my hair still. And then I tried getting stuff sewn into my hair, which is interesting. I got to see myself with like half a head of cornrows for a little, and then they kind of just go and sew on the little extensions, you know. But after a while, those options weren't really best for me because all of them resulted in more hair loss, because just, you know, with the braids, the constant pulling and the glue trying to take it out obviously rips out hair. So I knew that the best thing for me to do was to start looking for other options, and that would be when I started wearing wigs. I got my first wig when I was maybe a junior in high school. So I went with one of my family friends and my mom to a wig store, and they kind of helped me and guided me through there, you know, picking out the different types, color, you know, whatever, to just look the most natural. And it was a very emotional experience for me because I had never thought that I would be wearing someone else's hair. But it made it a lot easier because I could stop worrying about if something's showing or maybe my hair isn't right in the right way and it's exposed, you know. So it was a security thing for me as well, which was nice. So I put on the wig and I started wearing it, and I started feeling like myself again, because it's really hard when you're a teenage girl who has chunks of hair missing, because, you know, in high school it's all about, you know, who you are, who you hang out with, what you're wearing, you know. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. And it's hard trying to fit into a world when you feel like an odd man out. You know, I felt like I constantly had a secret to keep, and it killed me. I hated just being so insecure all the time. I hid my alopecia from the world for kind of a long time, almost 2 years actually. And then, because I'm a very impulsive person, I randomly woke up one day and just decided to shave the remaining hair that I had off. I wanted a new start, and it happened to be the beginning of the new year, which was pretty ironic. So I thought that was a good fit. So on the 1st of January, to start off 2018, I shaved it all off, and I decided to do my big reveal on social media. So I posted a picture of myself without any hair on Instagram, you know, kind of telling my story, and that started a lot for me. That would never have been possible without the help of my friends and my family and the amazing people in my life that are constantly supporting me and helping me along the way. It's actually crazy. I kept my alopecia from a lot of people except for maybe a small group of my friends. And you know, they really, really were there for me in any way possible. And I can't thank them enough for that. And they have given me the courage to still feel beautiful without my hair and to just live my life and embrace what's happened to me. And I am a different person because of it. I'm so much stronger, and I know that I can handle a lot more than I thought so before, which is also a nice eye-opener to me. And I don't want to think of this disease as something that's going to stop me from reaching my goals, because it is just losing hair. And although there are no physical things that are wrong with me, it's definitely an emotional process. But to just move forward in life and try to succeed as best as I can is all that I'm planning on doing now. I'm open and I'm happy with who I am, and I just wanted to kind of share my story and hopefully reach out to other people, those who have alopecia or any other kind of immune disorder, just to know that you're not alone. And I know it is a very hard thing to go through, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I know that's a major cliche, but it's the only way that I can really describe it. My main objective for these videos is to really raise awareness about alopecia and other immune disorders. So if you have any questions, just go in the comments, put them down there, like, subscribe, get the word out, tell your friends, and share. Peace out.